UFC Fight Night. Mario Bautista, Vinicius Oliveira, Andy and Jim here breaking down all the fights. We're going to give away 3-day pass. We're going to tell you our woulda, coulda, shoulda fight that we're going to regret not betting a lot more money on, and we're going to give you our parlay buster. First, real quick, got to award the winners. So the contest last week was most significant strikes in the Tai Tuivasa Taliesin Teixeira fight. Goes the distance, which surprised all of us. Congratulations, Matt Murray said 100 significant strikes. The correct total was 91. And so that was on one of our videos. And Cass Loneker, 76 significant strikes. So here's what I need you two to do. Put your Wager Talk username in the comment section, and I will just apply that 3-day pass, and you'll just start getting those picks. So in the comment section, give us your Wager Talk username. This week's contest, we're doing significant strikes again. And there was one funny fight that we just thought this is about as most volatile as it gets. So the contest this week for a free 3-day pass, the Jailton Almeida Rizvan Kuniev fight.
Good luck, everybody.
Did Jailton Almeida learn his lesson? Is he going to come out guns a-blazing? Is he going to throw 1,000,000 strikes, or is it just back to the old throw 12 strikes? So the contest is total significant strikes combined between both fighters. Leave it in the comment section. Winner gets a free 3-day pass. Got to be significant strikes in the combination of both fighters, Jailton Almeida and Kuniev. Jim, we only had one official best bet that went up. We went low volume. Thank God we did. And we just followed our rules. You fade a Tafa and you fade a Brundage.
Boop. Win.
Yeah, that was a good one. So, all right, well, let's get into it here. We'll start with the first fight of the night. Priscilla Cachoeira and Claudia Sygula coming to you first. I mean, I did not know Cachoeira was 37 until you told me that. That was a gigantic red flag. Is that enough for you to be terrified about betting on her?
It makes me terrified about betting on her. Is it enough to get me on Claudia Sygula? Let's just say it hasn't happened just yet. I need to see a couple things. Again, with a Cachoeira fight, you got to remember, she's still got to make it to the scale. She's still got to make weight. There's always shenanigans with a Priscilla Cachoeira fight. What concerns me, besides the 37, is look at this run of fights not to go the distance in a women's division that is not known for fights not to go the distance. This girl, last decision is against Ji Young Kim, a win. After that, it's just
and even before that, Jim.
Yeah, it's like a once in a blue moon. Like, it's just violent. So the 37 worries me. Her getting knocked out by Jocelyn Edwards quite early in that fight concerns me, because when you have the nickname Zombie Girl and that zombie goes away, we saw this with the Korean Zombie who turned Max Holloway into a knockout artist in his end of his career, his retirement fight. So the thing with Claudia Sygula is she's not a very skillful fighter. She wants to box. She wants to kickbox. She wants to make everything pretty and stay at range. And I don't know if she has the wrestling chops to exploit the horrible ground game of Priscilla Cachoeira. So to me, the big question is this. At this point with Cachoeira, are we just going to see women who aren't knockout artists knocking her out anyway? Like, is it all her chin? Does it matter if her opponent is a knockout artist or not? Now, Jocelyn Edwards hits hard. I think she hits harder. I just haven't got there yet. Honestly, if you want a safe bet in this, I think you go fight doesn't go. I think you just go fight doesn't go and just ride this train with Priscilla Cachoeira. Why pick a side? Give me fight. You get the under 2.5 at even money. One of these girls is going to look horrible in this fight. I mean, absolutely horrible, non-UFC level. So I would lean Sygula, but I like the fight under 2.5.
I think it's Cachoeira that's going to look bad. I mean, her last win since 2022 is against Josia Nunez, and now the cat's out of bag on Nunez. Mm-hmm. The knockout from Edwards was so strange because she hit her once and she just like froze on her feet. I was looking back. You know what it reminded me of? Terrifyingly, it looked like Tua getting a concussion, just freezing, the way, falling over. I am so out on Cachoeira, and Cachoeira comes into the pocket, chin held high, no defense, tries to walk through punches. And I just watched this fight. Arina Alexieva, who might, I don't know what the, I don't know if she's number one, but it's definitely top three of most dipshit like performances, game plans. Alexieva has the ground advantage. And what did she do? Came in with her UFC shorts on fire, trying to swing for the fences, looked like an absolute fool. And it was Sygula's one path to victory. It was literally like, how is Sygula going to win this? Because she's not very good on the ground. We watched Melissa Mullins, get her down and ground and pound her. Alexieva comes flying in, and I think Cachoeira is going to do the exact same thing. I love Sygula to counter. I love Sygula to jab. And the nice thing, Sygula doesn't have to push forward. Cachoeira will do that. Cachoeira will come right to her. Look, Sygula, just you can back up a little bit, bang, bang, get out of the pocket, and I think she's going to do damage. I think the speed is there for Sygula. Okay, maybe you could tell me power on Cachoeira, but you got to catch Sygula first. And I'm with you. This is like Amanda Nunes territory of fights that get finished. Now she's losing, not winning, but yeah, you don't see this in women's MMA. So yeah, the pick for me is going to be Sygula. I am a lot more confident in Sygula than you are. So move on to Gafurov and Wiklacz. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Interesting to try and figure out Wiklacz here, Jim, because gets the win against Patchy Mix, and I went back and watched that, and I got to be honest, neither guy looked very good. And now, the narrative is, well, how good are the Patchy Mix? It's funny, they have Bautista and Wiklacz on here on the same card, both guys that beat Patchy Mix, but I thought I thought Wiklacz was going to look better against Patchy Mix, and then Patchy Mix looked even worse than he did. Close fight. I thought Wiklacz gassed. I didn't think he looked that great. And Gafurov, I think, kind of has a little bit of that dog in him. He got the gift of gifts. If you're going, oh, he beat Rinya Nakamura. That was when Nakamura tried to show off his striking chops and didn't wrestle. and all of us that bet on Nakamura are sitting there going, oh my God, I can't live bet enough to try and get out of this. Nakamura is legit going to try and show off his striking, and it didn't work. I have no idea how to play this one. I think it goes the distance. Overs is the only way. I don't care who wins this fight. But I don't see finishing ability from either one of these guys in this one based on what I've seen. What about you?
This is probably the least interested fight I have on the card to put my money on. I will not be putting my money on this fight. If I have to give you guys a breakdown, it's real simple. I don't think that Wiklacz is really supposed to be here. He was supposed to be a sacrificial lamb. And like you said, if you go back and you watch that fight, it's not him winning. It's Patchy Mix looking absolutely dumbfounded and disinterested in being in an MMA fight. That's how he won that fight. There was opportunities up, down, left, and right for Patchy Mix to win that fight. If you go back and watch it, Wiklacz made so many mistakes. Like you said, gassed, cardio went away. But on the other side, I don't really have much confidence in somebody who's losing to John Castaneda. So if you're losing to John Castaneda, you're not getting my money either, Gafurov. I'm going to pick Gafurov. I'm not betting this. Not 1 cent of my money will be on this fight at all. Nobody can convince me otherwise. I don't care if you're Gafurov's cousin and you heard that he got hit by a bus the morning of. I don't care. I'm not putting money on this fight, and neither should you. Move on. Foreshadowing, this is a very, very tough card. So if there's a week for us to preach bankroll management, I think this is the week for it. I predict a lot of decisions and split decisions at that with a lot of these fights.
One fight I will not be managing my bankroll with caution is Kong Wang versus Eduardo Moura. You know my take on this fight. Kong Wang is a big favorite here, and I don't think it's big enough. I think this is a nightmare for Moura. What do you think?
I'll cut right to the chase. I think this is Kong Wang by finish. Tired people quit, and I can guarantee you that Eduardo Moura will be tired by the end of the second round. If not, halfway through the second round. Kong Wang has wised up. She's learned MMA on the job, coming from kickboxing. Yes, she had the big mistake. We know that. Okay? She had the big mistake. It is what it is. You get caught, you get submitted. Gabriela Fernandez is a decent fighter. It happens. She responds with 2 unanimous, one-sided, ass-kicking victories here. And I think this is the curveball. Everyone's like, oh no, it's Kong Wang. She's reserved. She's a decision fighter. I've seen Eduardo Moura like 2 seconds away from looking for the door in fights that she was competitive in. Her cardio is an extreme problem. Her striking is robotic. Yes, she hits hard, but after the midway through round one, it's very hard for her to hit her opponents because her striking is not that good and she slows down. So I think she's going to end up being a sitting duck on the feet if she doesn't get this to the ground and have a dominant second round to make it to round three. I'm predicting a round two, round three knockout win for Kong Wang. I think Kong Wang is going to run through Moura. This is the time to get off of that Moura train. She's fighting a legit fighter, not Veronica Hardy or Lauren Murphy or Montserrat Ruiz. This is a legit fighter. Huge step up. Kong Wang by finish.
I was so hoping there was a Kong Wang in rounds 2 or 3. There is.
Gotcha.
It's Kong Wang in rounds 1 or 2, or Kong Wang round 3 or decision. But I know where you're going at. Eduardo Moura was exhausted in round 3 against retiring Lauren Murphy.
Yep.
Like the announcers were saying, screaming, Moura's got to get a takedown. She's exhausted. And if you are getting tired against Lauren Murphy, who announces her retirement promptly after the fight, I got lots of questions. She beats Veronica Hardy. She's twice Veronica Hardy's size. I mean, there's just a size mismatch. On the feet, this is a no contest. Kong Wang has the much better speed, and you're right. Against Gabriel Fernandez, she got popped once. Gabriel jumps on the neck. That's it. We kind of like the one loss. And by the way, she was out striking Gabriel Fernandez 48-13 at the time. Wins against Bruna Brazil, not that impressive, but Ariane Lipski de Silva, I kind of hold in high regard. I think she's pretty good, and she made mincemeat of her. This is a horrible matchup for Moura. You got a fighter that can strike at range, can get out of the clinch, is fast enough to move around, and Moura's going to have to work so hard to get any kind of takedowns or any kind of clinch. You're right. That gas tank's going to be gone. I'm with you. Kong Wang could, if you like the double chance KO or decision, is kind of interesting. I don't see Kong Wang going for a submission, but I think this is Kong Wang all day long. Brutal matchup for Moura. This was just I guess you take whatever.
Evident she's the inflated Brazilian record right here. She also comes from the same gym as Jelton Almeida. So these are two fighters that refuse to leave their small gym and go out of their comfort zone, which I think is why we haven't seen the improvements that we expected from Moura after her debut. So just take that. Yeah, like inflated Brazilian, nightmare matchup. You said it.
Yeah, I mean, like when they call Eduardo Moura and they're like, Veronica Hardy, like, yeah. Lauren Murphy, yeah. Kong Wang, no. No. Can we get another retiring fighter? Someone that's really, really small? Can we get anybody? Because Kong Wang doesn't check any of those boxes. So, yeah, Kong Wang, easy pick for me. Moving on to one Basharat against Said Nurmagomedov. Javid, can we say just, I guess his attitude kind of caught up with him.
Agreed.
The last 3 fights.
Love the way you put that.
Like the Victory Henry thing, the man went to the hospital because you kicked him in the balls. Victor Henry is not a guy he doesn't brundage things. He doesn't look for the way out. And Basharat's attitude was just kind of like, it's not good karma to throw out in the world, and it got him. Zahabi gets a close win when he fought like a cocky asshole, and it cost him. And then he just got smoked. Ricky Simon hit him just unbelievably hard. So this guy, undefeated, cruising, looking good, then all of a sudden a no contest and 2 straight losses. That being said, I like him in this matchup. I think Said's done. I think his lack of cardio has caught up to him. This is a guy who knows his limits. He knows when to get the perfect takedown to win a round. He knows like when to throw the flashy spinning kick or whatever that gets oozing out. He knows how to squeak out these rounds, and he does have good chokes. This choke against Kakramanov was when he was getting his ass kicked He just was. He was getting his ass kicked. Loses to Jonathan Martin, does get the guillotine against Gafurov, but Oliveira, you have to remember this. I've watched other people in the industry break this down. If you're not talking about the injury that Oliveira had in this Said Nurmagomedov matchup, you're missing a lot about both fighters. Oliveira had one of the most painful core injuries you could have. He should have pulled out of the fight. He didn't. This injury puts people out of commission for months. And this guy beat Nurmagomedov. It says a lot about Oliveira and Said. I just don't think the cardio is there. I don't think the wrestling is there. And I don't think the perfectly timed takedowns and strikes are going to be there. I think this is a pretty nice rebound spot for Jacoby Basharat. I bet on him a lot. Did good. He cost me against Zahabi, and I did not bet on him against Ricky Simone. I didn't like that matchup at all. I got Basharat. I think Said's days I think his cardio and lack of wrestling have caught up to him. I think this is the beginning of the end for Said.
If we're talking about cardio, it is definitely on the Basharat side. He has better cardio than Said. As far as the danger level, I would say Said is more dangerous. He does have that front choke. But again, how many more times are we going to talk about the one move that somebody has to finish a fight? He's got one move. He's got one chance to finish a fight, and that's locking that choke up the first time that he goes for it, not the sixth time in round 3 when he's exhausted. There's no chance of him locking that up. Now, Javid does have that nice giant head, so there's a lot of head to wrap up in a guillotine and a front choke series there. I had said against the fight against Simone, I thought we were going to see Basharat get back to his winning ways, and my gosh, did we didn't. And I don't know if he lost because he was cocky or what against Simone, but I can tell you he just stood there while Simone threw a massive right hand and just put him into orbit. A lot of pressure right now on Basharat. 3 losses, you're in trouble. You're in deep, deep, deep trouble. A lot of pressure on Said. You would think that equates to action. I think it's going to equate to a boring, staying safe fight. To me, this fight has decision written absolutely all over it. And the third round should be won by Basharat. So I will go Basharat by decision. Taking this fight to go to the distance is one of my favorite parlay pieces on the card. I just don't.
Oh, okay.
Besides the guillotine and the front choke from Said, how does this fight end? Basharat, even when he smells blood, doesn't go for a finish, especially if he's up 2 rounds.
You're right. Dominant position, right? Hold you down, like win the round. Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty clear-cut decision.
All right, before we break down Bruno Brazil and Ketlin Souza, we have a deal that is way more exciting than that fight could ever possibly dream of being. We have 2 4% best bets on this UFC card, 2 of them. We've decided we're going to limit UFC plays to 1, maybe 2 plays per week. We only had 1 last week. We got 2 that stick out as playable. So more important, though, we're still running the 10 days for the price of 7, and we have a ton of plays. We have the Super Bowl 5% best bet that is up, but honestly, that's just scratching the surface. We've got 2 4% best bet. We have a 4% rugby play that's available, Everett. We have a darts play that is up. We have golf plays that are up. Everyone thinks sports are coming to an end. We're just getting started at this time of year. This is our bread and butter.
You ain't kidding.
Everyone's like, well, I guess to wait for March Madness and baseball. It's like, I got to get up an hour earlier to get these plays in. So it's a good time to check out sports that we specialize in, markets that you may not be used to, or if you just want to get down on the Super Bowl for one of our best props and you want to get down on our UFC best bets. We're up 23 units just on 4 and 5% plays in 2026. So the big plays when we've isolated spots been really, really good, and 67% in best bets in MMA the last 4 months. So pretty proud of those records. If you have not tried our plays before, 10 days for the price of 7. Really, really good day. You're going to get plenty of volume and plenty of big plays over the next 7 days. That's over at wt.buzz/AL, or just go to wagertalk.com and click on the specials page. All right. I do not have a sexy takedown for Bruno Brazil and Ketlin Souza. Do you?
No. This fight, why? Why bet this? I want to bet Ketlin Souza so bad, but this girl continuously drops split decisions.
I know.
And against Piera Rodriguez and Angela Hill, and you can make the argument, oh, well, she's split decision, One judge sees one round different, and I'm sorry, you're losing. A loss is a loss. To quote Denny Green, "You are who you thought we thought you were." Um, I'm not going to put my money on someone who's going to be that close against a poor level of competition. Now, don't crucify me for saying Angie Hill's a poor level of competition, but at this age, you really should be beating her. You should be beating. You should not be losing if you're a legitimate prospect. Bruno Brazil, victim of the "I'm going to fighting nerds. I'm going to make all these improvements," and then the fight starts, and it's the same Bruno Brazil that we always knew and loved. So, not a lot of faith in the women's division, and not a lot of good results for the women that are transferring into the fighting nerds to fight out of there. I hate it. Hate this fight up down. Any possibility you could tell me, and I would go, sure. Yep, that's going to happen. Sure. Yep, that's going to happen. So, will not be getting my money. Maybe a live bet situation if we can get an edge. But no edge, it ain't worth betting. We'll wait for weigh-ins and see what happens from there.
I'll lean Ketlin Souza. That Piero Rodriguez fight was really, really close. I believe that was the one that the announcers and Cormier, that was the ultimate lesson, and don't listen to the announcers and their betting and judging predictions. Because you and I were like, I think Souza's losing this one. And, Piero Rodriguez was kind of on bottom, but she was doing all the damage. It was very Jailton Almeida-esque, who we'll get to. I've not seen any upside in Brazil. Souza, for the purposes of this video, will be the pick, but am I betting my money? Hell no. I did not know Nico Price was taking fights anymore, but then I remembered he has a plethora of children.
Yes.
And it makes sense. Listen, I don't care how bad Veretennikov is. This record speaks for it. So that is a lot of red. Phil Rowe, he gets knocked out on Robbie Lawler. That is just like adding, like, just worse and worse. He's lost a couple grappling matches. He can't wrestle. Alex Morono, congratulations on that one, but gets dominated by Garimbo. And then Jacoby Smith chokes him out. I mean, Alex Morono and Alex Oliveira are his last two UFC wins. He looks so slow. He looks so done. And Veretennikov, he finds ways to lose. I mean, his one win is a split decision win, but the fact is he's more athletic. He hits harder. It's just the fate of Nico Price. I can't believe I'm going to regret not betting against Nico Price. I will just say that. I may regret betting on Veretennikov, but if he wins and I'm sitting there going, I didn't make money off of Nico Price, I think I'm going to have some regrets. What say you?
I don't care who wins. Give me fight doesn't go the distance.
Oh,
just fight doesn't go. Don't care. I don't even think we have lines on this yet at all.
Some of the the other markets have it, but if you're looking, at
your
TK, no.
Your main books don't have it yet. I'll be really looking at the fight doesn't go. Just Nico Price is just there to be hit. Veretennikov, not the best fighter, but his striking is light years ahead of Nico Price's striking at this point. And Nico is from a dead generation of MMA fighters that made their bones based off of athleticism and the ability to take a punch. And guess what two things have gone from Nico Price's game? His athleticism and his ability to take a punch. So what are we left with? We're left for a guy who's just ripe to be plucked for a knockout or a submission here. The cardio is also not there. He looks horrible in round threes when he makes it there. I think Veretennikov has an edge in that. I would think Price is going to try to wrestle because that's where Veretennikov's had his issues, but I don't think he's getting him down. To me, this is Veretennikov by knockout. And you're right. If we wake up on Sunday and we didn't make money on fading Nico Price, we got a problem. Like, we're not going to be happy about that. So that's where I'm looking first thing. Fight doesn't go, but lean better Veretenikov's side.
Move on to Alex Morono. Why do they have all these fighters kind of fighting in sync? Have you noticed that? It's like
they've all fought each other, so they stay on schedule.
That's what I mean. Like you're like, oh, the Basharats are fighting. on the same card as Morono and Nico Price, who have fought each other. Bautista is fighting on the same card as. But Alex Morono and Daniil Donchenko. Donchenko is coming off of a very violent win on the Ultimate Fighter finale. I mean, we talk about Nico Price being done. We put Alex Morono in that same category?
Yeah. Side by side. I can't think of any other guys that are worse, that are more done. The violence is not there.
Well, it is
on his side, or
it's not coming from him.
It's there's no fight back. Let's talk about you guys. This is what I wanted to do with this one. You know Alex Morono. If you're watching this and you're not new to MMA, everybody knows Alex Morono. They're going to talk about how he can't grapple, or he can grapple, but he refused to use it. Blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about things that can't be baked into the line. Alex Morono is a full-time instructor at his own gym. Alex Morono is pumping his own gym. He's doing self-defense classes. He's coaching jiu-jitsu. He's doing all these other things except focusing on being a full-time UFC fighter. You have the exact opposite situation with Donchenko, where he doesn't care about anything else in life other than becoming a successful UFC fighter. So when you have heart and desire and age all meeting in the middle, you are going with Donchenko, and he is going to knock out Alex Morono. I don't understand. Well, I do understand what the UFC wants to do. Why are you still fighting, Alex? I hope the gym's doing good enough to where he doesn't have to fight anymore, because the guy, just like Nico, they don't really have any business fighting these young, hungry lions that are just going to take their soul inside the octagon. I mean, Donchenko's not going to have any remorse. You're not going to see any spots where he's like, well, Morono's a veteran. I want to show him a little. He's going out for blood. That is what this guy does, and he's going to put him into orbit. So within 2 rounds, maybe even a sprinkle on the round 1 with the ferocity of Donchenko. So I think it's inside 2. It's just another loss from Moreno. And honestly, just keep betting on him until he's not here anymore. Betting against him until he's not here anymore.
He's also doing is it color or announcing for Fury? Isn't
yes,
he? He's a busy guy. Which
he's got a lot.
You should
going
be.
on.
You should be setting up your thing. But now we have side hustle theory. We have a young, hungry, fighter, and what he did to Cinzinato was illegal in 13 states. That was brutal, and I'm not too worried about the cardio. He's got decision wins. He's got a 4th round rear naked. And let's be honest, if you're worried about the cardio of Donchenko, you need to have a dance partner that is going to get you tired. And Alex Morono just isn't it. Alex Morono was dying in the last round against Court McGee.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember live betting Court McGee. That's what I remember.
He lost to Nico Price. He lost to Nico Price. And then Carlos Leal. Yeah, I have Donchenko. Yeah, the minus 200 in rounds 1 or 2 is a pretty good piece, maybe on its own, or if you want to parlay it with some. But yeah, I like Donchenko. He is exactly what the UFC wants in their fighters. This guy comes out to put on a show, comes out for violence, comes out to get a finish. He is right up Dana White's alley. So Dustin Jacoby and Julius Walker. Bizarro matchup here for me. Interested in your take.
Let's talk about some things outside of the cage that aren't baked into the line. And if they are, I don't think they're baked in correctly. So last I checked, Dustin Jacoby was a minus 185 favorite.
Yes, he's still a big favorite.
Okay, so still north of 185. Would you make a guy a favorite who had over 34 hours of travel last week internationally? Would you make a guy a favorite that started the process of cutting weight last week in another country and now is fighting in a different country? Would you be making a guy who has 50-plus kickboxing fights on top of his UFC career, which is how many fights at this point?
Oh, I mean, he's been doing it. He's been doing it for a long time, man.
A
Like,
lot of
it's a
wear and tear,
lot
a
of
lot of
fights on his.
damage. Yep. Um, he comes back and gets the win over Petrino. He was losing that fight. Okay, he was losing that fight. Petrino fought like an idiot in round 3 and just stood there and got caught with a shot. If that doesn't happen, we're looking at 3 losses. He then runs into Bruno Lopez, who, my God, perhaps one of the slowest fighters that we've ever seen coming in. Another guy who fought like an absolute knucklehead for as long as this lasted and was just very obvious he was outclassed. So props to him for getting those 2 wins, but let's take it into a little bigger complex. There is no reason for this guy to be favored other than the fact that people are down on Julius Walker. Julius has the age, he has the athleticism, he has a better chin, and he has a more diverse attack than him. I don't agree with this line. I think this line should be flipped. I think it's Julius Walker. I have not bet it yet because I need to see what Dustin Jacoby looks like. If he looks totally fine at weigh-ins, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that sure sounds like a lot of out of the cage stuff that is not baked into the line of a pretty steep favorite. So I will pick Walker. I think the last minute travel is just too much to deal with. Your body, you don't know how your body is going to react when you get in there after your second weight cut and start fighting. I think it's a real issue. So give me Walker.
It's dog or pass for kind of some of the reasons, but also, I mean, so Julius Walker, I this fight against Menefield was pretty boring, but he goes the distance in that fight, and Menefield fights are always grueling. They're up against the fence. Like, it's not like running around cardio. It's just in the clinch wrestling type of cardio. Then he fights Cachoeira, who's terrible, and he just takes Cachoeira down multiple times. Cachoeira goes for a bunch of four loco gillies that don't work. And then he's supposed to fight this Saudi Baldiev, who's awful, and it gets canceled. Yeah, Jacoby takes this on short notice. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is a quick payday for Dustin Jacoby. Like I feel like, hey, could you jump in and you haven't fought since May of 2025. Want to get paid here a little bit? You had 2 fights in 2024, only 1 in 2025. Was supposed to fight Jimmy Crute, and you're right. This process of the weight cuts and it could have a lot. I'm with you. It's probably a no bet. I actually kind of like this fight to go the distance. I'm not sure Jacoby, after the weight cuts and the travel and everything, I'm not sure he's ready to knock guys out. Again, you said the last 2 guys he knocked out was kind of like, Petrino was kind of kicking his ass until he caught him on the chin, and Lopez, fight like a dumbass. Can Walker do it? Yeah. But if Walker works the takedowns, I think this ends up going the distance. I'm more interested in fight goes the distance than anything in this one. So probably not having my money on it, but
I also believe, I know that he's training partners with Cody Brundage, and I believe Mark Montoya is their coach. Mark's already said, like, he's kind of done. There was,
really?
I believe it was Cejudo, right? Who said, like, no matter what, this is our last run together. Like, I have questions. Mark, legendary coach, wealth of knowledge. I have questions about this gym, man. I think a lot of things are up in the air, and you bring up a great point. Are these guys just trying to get paydays in? Like,
it's a great way to get a payday.
As they can get in before it's like, okay, we're done. We're selling the gym. Like, fight team's done.
Yeah, he's trying to fight Jimmy Crute, who has not looked good. Like, his cardio looks gone. Julius Walker, like, it's here. Listen, it's a good point, Jim. You bring up because you have Dustin Jacoby. Okay, so you go from he loses a close one against Roundtree, goes the distance against Mirzakhanov, knocks out Kennedy, loses to Menefield, loses to Reyes, and now you get 2 wins against Petrino and Lopez. Why are you not taking a step up?
Yeah, you're fighting Jimmy Crute.
You're fighting Jimmy Crute and now Julius Walker? That's not moving up. That's, you got a chance to put a 3-win, 3-fight win streak. That doesn't. And listen, how old is he? He's not winning.
I think you're taking what's offered, is what you are. With those names, right? Like UFC's calling, giving you these names. Might be the only name you're
Something
getting.
stinks about this whole situation in this fight. I think it's a stay away from a money line perspective. So the other Basharat, much bigger favorite against Gene Matsumoto. How do you think this fight goes?
I don't care who wins. Fight goes the distance. There's your parlay. Take both Basharat fights to go the distance.
We're back.
And
The
hold your nose,
Basharat
right?
over parlay
Yeah.
is back.
Basharat over parlay. Yep, we're back with it. If Javi cannot get KO'd or submitted in round 1 or 2. This is going to be a great fight. I really, really enjoy Farid's fight style. I love Matsumoto's fight style. I think that Matsumoto could be a little bit outclassed with the stifling wrestling of Basharat. But God, Matsumoto's a good fighter, man. Really, really good fighter. Skilled on the feet, skilled on the ground, tough, both durable guys. I just love decision in this. If I have to pick someone to win, I don't know. Is this which Basharat drops the ball? Like, we've just had unanimous run here. Now, Basharat decisioning Chris Gutierrez, well, not exactly a huge feather in your cap. Victor Hugo, not exactly a huge feather in your cap. Taylor Lapalus, fighting in the PFL, not a big feather in your cap. Clinton Rodriguez, is he even with the company anymore? I don't. What's he been up to? Oh, that's right.
Last time we saw him, he was losing to Alatang.
Losing to a road to UFC fighter. His win is Shannon Ross. Remember good old Shannon? We need to start that petition, too, to get Shannon back in the UFC. We need a stimulus check. Matsumoto, very, very stiff competition here, but I have a feeling Basharat squeaks it out. I'm going to go just fight goes to decision as the best play here. I'll go Basharat ekes out a split.
I got Matsumoto in this one, and
okay.
I've had a pretty good read on Matsumoto. I sniffed some holes in his game, and we talked about him coming off of the Katona fight. We talked about Rob Font going, there's something about his striking that I think striking defense that leaves himself open, and loses a split to Rob Font. And this fight against Miles Johns, we were all over as well. We were like, he was a huge favorite, and we were like, nah, Miles Johns is going to make life really difficult for him. And listen, Matsumoto won. It was very close. It could have gone either way. Miles Johns looked incredible. That was the best version of Miles Johns I think we've seen. And it sucked for Miles Johns. He was so bummed he lost that because he put everything into it. But the fact is, Matsumoto pulled out the win. And I just think he's going to have the bigger moments. I think he's going to hit a little bit harder and get a little bit more oohs and ahs. Basharat's styles are not exciting to the judges. You have to win either by finish or complete domination. And I don't think Farid can dominate Matsumoto. I mean, you just went over this record. Like Chris Gutierrez, he won, but was that exciting? God, no. There was no big moments in that one. Yeah, Victor Hugo, gigantic unknown coming off a contender series. Like you said, Taylor Lapalus and Clinton Damon Blackshear, I guess, is his decent win, but
it's a good win. That's a good win.
It's fine. But Matsumoto is just way better than these guys at this point. I think he's got a ground game that can somewhat compete with Basharat, and I think on the feet, Basharat, a little bit more of a point fighter in terms of stone punches at 75, 80%, where Matsumoto can really uncork some 100% shots. So, and really, this is just the price. I was stunned when I saw this price, and it's held 285 minus 290 on Farid Basharat. No, there's no world. Just the price alone makes me say I'm not believing in this one. So Matsumoto will be the pick for me as an underdog. Mikey O, Fighting Nerds version of Mikey O versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I'll let you go first because you love this version of Mikey O.
I mean, how could we not love what we've seen from this guy? Look, we all loved him when he was losing because either way, we knew we were in for a hell of a show and a hell of a fight. Let's go down. Has there been a bad Oleksiejczuk fight that was a snooze fest?
Shara was the closest thing you could get to a snooze fest.
And
it
whose
wasn't
fault
really a
was
snooze
it?
fest.
It's Shara's fault. Because the
Matchmakers.
man is risk adverse and he can only do what he can with one eyeball. I still don't know how this is legal to have the one eye guy fighting.
It's why he can only fight in a couple
It's wild.
countries.
It's wild. I still didn't bet enough against Michael Venom Page against a guy with one eye. I don't know what we were thinking with that. We could have retired. I just think Mike Yole's built for violence, and this Fighting Nerds version of him, there's a confidence. There was a stretch there, between Pereira, Holland, and Chara where, again, he was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight anymore. And I forget who it was that got to him, but said, look, make one more run at this and really commit. And that's when we saw him going out to Fighting Nerds. Now, wins over Dumas and Mearshart, no, not a great level of competition. But he's understood the assignment in these fights. He's leaning on what he does well. And I also believe that his brother, getting to the point where he's UFC level, there's no better inspiration than to be in the gym side by side with your blood, chasing your dream together. I think both of these guys are more committed than ever, and making that move to Fighting Nerds showed that. I saw what I needed to see from him as far as commitment in his career. Now, Marc-Andre Barriault, on the other hand, what does he do good? He's got cardio. He's gritty. He's grimy. Other than that, I don't really know if there's anything that this man does great. He gets the big win over Bruno Silva. We find out after that, or right before it even in tape study, the mess that Bruno Silva was. I mean, emotionally, physically, just an absolute mess. And you look at these losses. Oh, that Stoltzfus loss. I still remember where I was and the amount of money that I lost when Dustin Stoltzfus flatlined him in the first round. He gets smoked by Joe Pyfer. He loses a split to Chris Curtis, who always goes to decision. Win against Eric Anders? Was that substance abuse, Eric Anders? I mean, Eric Anders is in rehab now. I'm not saying it to be funny. It's just, it was.
You're right.
It's what went on. Before that, Julian Marquez. Oh boy. Anthony Hernandez smokes him. Jordan Wright. I mean, now we're going down some of these names. I think this is a very good setup spot for Oleksiejczuk. Oleksiejczuk has one assignment. Do not get pushed up against the fence and taken down. As soon as your back hits the fence, you have to circle out. And with a camp like Fighting Nerds, I expect the striking to be on point. The footwork is heads and tails better on the Oleksiejczuk side. I think he's going to hurt Barriault on the feet and go in for the kill. I will be shocked if this fight sees a round 3. I wouldn't even be shocked if we see a round 1 finish for Oleksiejczuk here. I just think Barriault is just too long in the tooth and doesn't have the physical skills to keep up anymore.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add to that. Fighting Nerds. Do we have questions about the Fighting Nerds?
I think they answered it.
I mean, Ruffy's not with Fighting Nerds anymore, but he looked fine, and Gene Silva looked fine. So, yeah, I don't have any questions about Mikey O. So I agree with you. I was on the fence about it, and then I was going and looking, and I was like, well, he went to decision against Shara. Mikey O, that's his one decision in recent memory is against Shara, who just goes the distance to everybody. Yep. Like, pillow fist, but got takedowns on Mikey O, held him down there a little bit. And no, I'm not too worried about the ground game. I mean, like, yeah, you're worried about the ground game, but Barriault has to get it there and hold him there and work for it. And it probably is going to take quite a bit of work, even if it is Mikey O. It's not top a level of bad, I guess is what I'm saying. So moving on to Jailton Almeida, Rizvan Kanaev again. This is the contest of the week. Leave in the comment section how many significant strikes between Almeida and Kanaev put together. Winner gets a free 3-day pass. We want to hear from you anyway. Leave your best bets in the comment section. I love reading what you guys are all over. I will tell you, Sean O'Malley fans are kind of up there with New England Patriots fans. I think I've about had it with Sean O'Malley. Somebody said that I've lost all UFC credibility if I think Sean O'Malley lost the fight against Zong. All credibility. I will say this, sir. I have had way worse calls than that. Like,
yeah, we have
way worse than you thought that was bad. Oh man,
I'm with you. I think the Sean O'Malley fan, not the fan, right? Because we all like Sean O'Malley, like to watch his fights.
We love Sean O'Malley.
Yeah,
Who
we
doesn't
love Sean
O'Malley.
But like the guys who are like buying the Sean O'Malley T-shirt, buying the wig to
Betting
win the
on him.
event, though, yeah, betting on him. Like, oh, great hindsight. Love their bet. I think they're about as delusional as Sean was when he was saying he was undefeated. Honestly, so it's okay, guys. The fight was 2 weeks ago. We can stop talking about it now. Let it go. Let it go.
All credibility means I had credibility coming into that video, sir. All right, all right. Jailton Almeida and Kuniev. This is the ultimate. If you bet on Jailton Almeida, you're going to look like the biggest moron or the biggest genius. This is the ultimate woulda, coulda, shoulda, or boy, do I need to hang it up. I could lose all UFC credibility on this fight, Jim. How do you see it going?
I mean, dude, this is first of all, props to Andy for his segue into this fight, because this is the one where no matter what we say, we're going to get the comments next week. You're out of your mind. Kuniev should have killed him. He did kill him. You can't trust Jailton Almeida, guys. Good luck. Have at it. It could look like an absolute gift of a price. I get it. He should win. But the guy doesn't like violence, and he's in a sport where it's the main source that you need. You need to be violent to be a cage fighter. He's become risk adverse, and it got him in trouble with Volkov. His lack of aggression against Volkov was a real problem. To just assume, because you get a takedown in round one, that you're going to be able to do it for 2 more rounds and hold the guy down is naive. It's a symbol of bad coaching. If you were with us on the live show last week, you heard my rant about bad coaching. And some of these guys are just stealing money from fighters. And don't come at me like I'm saying something that other fighters haven't been saying for years. These guys, a lot of them have no business being cage side at a fight and collecting 10, 20, 30% on their bad negotiated contracts with these fighters. It is robbery, and I'll leave it at that. I won't rant that much longer. Jailton Almeida is from a small gym, and I don't think they're making any improvements with the guy. He's just resting on what he could. If we look at Almeida's track record here, he moves up to heavyweight. Well, why does he? Why does he move up to heavyweight? Because he sees a bunch of double-lard heavyweights that he thinks he can out-athletic, and that's what he's trying to do. He's not trying to have fights with these heavyweights. He's trying to grapple them to a decision and control them. So can he do that against Kuniev? Unfortunately, I think he can. Kuniev has not been pushed at all since his return. I still have questions about the supplements that he is possibly taking.
The belly that he has somehow come across now that he's not on all the steroids.
Yeah, but is it like one of those like world's strongest man bellies where it's just full of HGH? It's just a belly of HGH, a bloated belly of it. I don't know. Just this fight is just ugly, and he gets the win over Curtis Blades. Well, let me ask you guys. What does
lost.
Curtis Blades do? Lost to Curtis Blades?
He lost to Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades, it turns out, blew out his knee.
Blew out his knee.
In that fight.
Did not wrestle, right? It was kickboxing Blades because he couldn't, and he still loses. But I can't trust Almeida. I lean Almeida. I'm not going to bet this. I'm okay missing out on it. I can't bet a guy who refuses to get out of his comfort zone. I can't.
I'm going with Almeida. Listen, okay, he looked horrible against Volkov, but he did finish Spivak in the first round. He did finish Romanov. He's got it in him. And he lost to Curtis Blades because he was trying to be too violent. He was trying to work way too hard for the takedown, and Blades was just elbowing him, but he's got it in him. I can't do it with Kuniev. He looked like such a tub of shit, and he's teeing off on Blades, and Blades' face is all mushed up, and then you find out, Blades just like beat him on a blown knee. And I know there were a lot of people that thought he, won, but the fact is, you can't go to split decision against a guy who's on a blown leg, like as a heavyweight, like just bad look for Kuniev. I don't believe in him. And remember the guy he fought, Hugo Cotto, who just gave up on Contender Series. He walked
Yes.
out and it was like his eyes were the size of dinner plates. And you were like, this guy's done. Bunch of canceled fights. He was supposed to fight Ryan Spann on this one. This fight gets canceled. I think Spann pulled out of this one. But no, I will fall for it and think that I'm getting a discount on Almeida because he had one bad performance. And I know he's got a small gym, but surely they got the memo. Surely they got the memo that you can't do that. And honestly, the judges may have done Almeida a favor. No, you didn't win that fight. We're not giving it to you. We're giving it to Volkov. So
I hope, man. I hope we see a different version because the guy could be champion.
yeah, he's good. He's damn good if he can just put it all together. Wouldn't you love to see him like American Top Team or
Yes.
just like
Yes.
just,
Like,
it's-
dude, if it's about
So-
money, we'll start a GoFundMe. Like, whatever you need, man. Whatever you
we'll
need.
invest.
Reach
We'll
out to your
invest.
boys, Andy and Jim. We'll do what we can. Get yourself to
Absolutely.
a big gym. You got a chance to be the dominant champion in this division. We don't know what's going on with Tom Aspinall right now. I mean, there's turnover. Let's go. Now's the time.
Are you worried that there's it's an outside chance, but have we seen the last of Tom Aspinall and Shavkat Rakhmonov? Like within
Both of them will never be the same. I hate
Yeah,
to say
sadly.
it, they will never be the same. Tom Aspinall will never be the same, and Shavkat most certainly will never be the same.
Shavkat will absolutely 100% never be the same. As somebody that's had multiple knee surgeries, it's a different. I'm not comparing myself, but we know what happens to these professional athletes when they come off of multiple knee injuries. There's not only rust, but yikes, that sucks for him and for UFC and for UFC fans, both of them with Aspinall. So hopefully Aspinall's not having to fight on the same cards as Shara, but Jesus, this eye thing is getting terrifying. So, all right, we move on to Amir Albazi and Horiguchi. I'll go first. I'll make it quick. I think Horiguchi runs absolute circles around Albazi. This is a speed mismatch that every once in a while I talk about this. Go look at the last fight of each fighter and put them in two different browsers and just watch them and look at the skills and the speed. Albazi looked like his feet were in absolute cement against Brandon Moreno. And Brandon Moreno can do that to guys, but this isn't the Brandon Moreno from a few years ago where he was, the fastest, guy around. What's he done? He's all of a sudden grappling. He's like going into these grappling matches against Philo and Vagabov. And now he's going up against Horiguchi, who, okay, guys had 40 fights, but man, did he, getting Tajir Olebekov submitted is one thing, but just the sheer speed that he has. He's going to be able to stick and move. I think he's going to be able to get Albazi down on the ground just with getting in better position on this one. I know he's a big favorite. I don't need to overthink this one. It's Horiguchi, and I think Horiguchi puts on a masterclass, and we got a lot of questions about the future of Albazi. Albazi, tons of surgeries, and it ain't in a very good area of the body. There's no such thing as a great surgery, but backs, things like that. I think this is a Horiguchi masterclass. What do you think?
Again, wrestlers with back or neck surgery, I'm just out. I'm out until I see it back. So, yeah, it's Horiguchi. I think they're going to try to fast track this kid. He ain't getting any younger. He's been around forever.
Yeah, he's
They need
35.
big fights. Yeah, they need big fights in this division. This kind of smells to me of all right, Albazi, do you want to fight or not? Well, it depends. All right, we'll make it worth your while. You've been doing grappling. Are you healthy enough? Can you get to the cage? Also, does Albazi, he doesn't have to fight. He's got boatloads of money. He comes from royalty.
With a
why are you
nickname like
taking
the
this?
Prince.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence that that's his nickname. I think this is a building block for Horiguchi to get him into a big fight in this division because this division needs some new blood. It needs new blood. It needs new matchups. So I agree with you. I think he's going to run, like the way you said that, circles around Albazi. The footwork is going to be a major problem, and the hand speed is going to be a major problem. And he can hold his own in the wrestling. Albazi's not going to be washing him in the wrestling by any means. He will work his way back up.
And we move on to the main event. If you guys please hit the like button, really, really helps us out. Again, comment in the comments section. Total significant strikes, Almeida, Kuniev, and you get a free 3-day pass. With Mario Bautista, Vinicius Oliveira. We love Vinicius Oliveira here, Jim. Like, he's done very, very well for the pocketbooks on us. So we've had good reads on him. So can he get it done as the underdog against Bautista here?
I think he can. I most certainly think he can. Now, I'll rewind a little bit. Last week's main event, we were talking about how we love Volk. We have him betted. It was this, it was that. We had to wait and see. And again, like I said, if you give me 5 rounds, you give me 3 rounds to figure out a fight, and you're going to give me that extra 5, we jump on a live bet on Volk in round 2. That looks like some of the easiest money that we possibly can make all year. To me, this is kind of the same situation. I think the trigger's got to be pulled a little bit sooner. I think we're going to learn really early what we're going to get out of Oliveira. I think we know what we're going to get from Bautista, don't we? Like, we pretty much are going to get the game plan of the sorry, you got wrong guy up there. Who was it?
You want Bautista?
Last? Yes, please.
Umar?
Yes, Umar.
Patchy.
Where it's that hold up, the Patchy, the hold up, the Alzo, the hold up, the stall. I think that's who we're going to get from Mario Bautista. We're not going to get the guy that's going to put up a massive amount of significant strikes and take risks. He's going to play to the point that he can win decisions, and that's what he's figured out how to do, is win decisions. I don't know if that's going to be enough against Loke Dog. I just don't. The guy is so violent. He hits so hard. I believe the moments from Oliveira, this could be a situation where he's winning most of the rounds, and then Oliveira hits him with one big shot, and we've seen these judges. What do they love, Andy? They love the oohs and the ahs. And guess who's going to be getting the oohs and the ahs in the Apex? It's going to be Oliveira. So I like Oliveira. I think he's worth a shot. We made a ton of money on him. I don't see any reason to get off him. Both these guys, big wins, a lot of wins recently. I'm going to ride the momentum of Oliveira. I think he wins this fight.
Yeah, it's a price thing. I just think this should be closer to even money. Goes the distance against Simone. That was such a weird fight. Both of them got hurt in that fight. And then, I did the thing about the Saeed Nurmagomedov fight, just finding out the injury. The fact that he fought Saeed is one thing. The fact he won in the manner that he did. And then we predicted this Kyler Phillips to a T. Kyler Phillips is going to look good in round 1, and then he's not in rounds 2 and 3. And Oliveira was killing him in rounds 2 and 3. And Bautista's okay. He's got good footwork. He's pretty fast, but I don't know. Got dominated by Umar. He had one good moment. Win against Patchy Mix. I don't know. He did his job, but that win just doesn't look that good. And then we're back to the Jose Aldo fight where he just held him up against the fence and didn't do anything. And Oliveira is going to have this style that looks great, especially in the Apex, where he's walking forward with his hands at his hips. And then he throws massive shots. And even if Bautista blocks him, they just look big. And Oliveira is ripe to be hit with quick jabs and such. But they haven't been able to do it to him in the UFC. And I know it's 5 rounds. I guess on paper, Bautista should have the cardio advantage. Are we sure? What if Oliveira pounds him in the side of the head a few times? Like, he was, Kyler Phillips was like, man, I'm getting hit with a sledgehammer in this. So what if Oliveira damages up Bautista, slows him down, and now cardio is not really that big of an issue for Oliveira? I think the value is in the dog on this one. I might be chasing here because I made so much money on Oliveira. If I'm betting it, I'm just sprinkling it, but I'm just not going to, I'm not buying into Bautista here at this price. After one good moment against Umar, and then he, gets dominated. And don't forget, Oliveira more than held his own against Saeed Nurmagomedov on the ground. Like, more than held his own. So where's Bautista's big advantage? Footwork, cardio? I don't know, but I just know the bigger moments I think are coming from Vinicius. So, all right, it's time for the Parlay Buster and the woulda, coulda, shoulda. We'll start with the Parlay Buster. This is a fight that we think a lot of people are going to have in their parlays. We're here to say be careful on that one. Who you got?
Scroll down for me. Let's go to. Whoa. There we go. I'm going to go with the first Basharat. A little terrified about the first Basharat. So we'll go with Javid over Saeed, the front choke. One of the Basharats, like we were joking before, the Basharat parlay. I think it's the Basharat over parlay. I don't think it's playing them on the money lines.
No, it's the Basharat overs.
Right, it's the overs. I'm gonna go Javid being the one that dropped the ball. I understand that Matsumoto's a stiffer test, but he's the one that we've seen to drop the ball. So
Okay.
I'll lean on history and go with him. One of the Basharats will drop the ball and kill that parlay.
Okay. I will. You know what? Let's have some fun. I'll go with the other Basharat.
Okay.
So if one of them screws it up, one of us is right. If they both screw it up, we look great. If they both win, then we both look like morons. So, but yeah, I think Matsumoto. This is just a line thing for me. I think it's closer to even. So I really do believe that. I was stunned when I saw Farid that big of a favorite over Matsumoto. It was wild here. So, all right, woulda, coulda, shoulda. What's a bet you think we're gonna look back and go, man, should have made a lot more money on that one?
I could give you 4 or 5 of them. Like this is just one of those cards where we're gonna go, God, oh no. I'm gonna do 2. We'll do 2. First of all, we have to fade Nico Price taking a fight in 2026. Okay.
All right. I'm all aboard this.
There's no lines out for this yet, but Veretennikov fight finish against Nico Price. Short notice, Nico Price. Just say I'll be real mad at myself Sunday morning if I don't make money on that. Second one I'm going to go to is Julius Walker over Dustin Jacoby.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like a money grab to me. It's a nightmare week of travel. You know, keep in mind that 34 is the amount of hours in the air. That's not travel hours. You're looking at more like 4 days, 5 days of travel between packing, airports, customs, the whole 9. And going through the emotions of cornering a guy and having him get KO'd. Thank you, Cody Brundage.
Yeah, adds to the stress level, doesn't it? Can you imagine being a quarterman of Cody Brundage? Your head's fine. Your head is no, you didn't get poked in the eye. Get up.
We might see a lot of wear and tear on Justin's face at weigh-ins. So I think Julius Walker is set up to really succeed. I'll be mad if I miss out on that.
All right, I need to dig deep here for this one. I'm digging really, really deep. Where's the hidden sneaky gem?
Okay.
And that's Priscilla Cachoeira walking in with her chin held high against Sygula, whose biggest weakness is takedown defense. I think Sygula pieces her up. Cachoeira, just go watch her being knocked out by Jocelyn Edwards and just tell me if you think she's ready for 3 rounds of action. I do not. I think this sets up really nice for Sygula. Bad stylistic matchup and at a very fair price, minus 150. I think this could look like minus 300. Gets out of the second round and Sygula's landing that jab and landing that counter. I think this could look like easy money for Sygula. That's my woulda, coulda, shoulda. So
you just got to hope that Priscilla doesn't take the Aaron Tao advice on how to cheat, because she's going to cheat cutting weight. We already know it. Like, use one arm, Priscilla. Don't put your arms all the way over and hold yourself up. Like,
I mean, early candidate for most hilarious, like, dumbass moment of the year. Like, that guy's never going to get a UFC. Like, missing weight and trying to cheat by putting your elbows on the box. I mean, maybe there, everyone loves a good redemption story. Who was the guy that bit the I can't remember his name. Who was the guy that bit the guy? They cut him like that night or like the very next day. I could totally see that guy getting a fight against Aaron Tao if they're in the same division, like the redemption match on Contender Series. Winner gets in. Mm-hmm. No questions asked. Winner gets a contract. I mean, That the electric. Make that the opening fight on Contender Series this season. Aaron Tao versus whatever that guy that bit the guy. Like I said, I don't know if they're in the same weight class. I can't remember, but leave in the comments if they're in this.
No mouthpieces and no weight cut. Just send him in. Just
show up.
Whoever wins.
Do it like the old school where they're
no
they
refs,
just fought till it was over.
Out.
No, there's no rounds.
Yep.
Like you just
That's it.
Could be 3 minutes, could be 40. Yeah, make that fight happen. Contender Series. All right, guys, that's going to do it for it. Thanks very much. Appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate all the love and all the comments. Good luck on your bets. And remember that 10 days for 7 days is on the specials page over at Wager Talk. Let's have a big weekend. Jim and I will be live for the show on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. Come watch along with all the fights. We've got a bunch of live bets and such. So we'll see everyone Saturday. Good luck on your bets. Take care.
Good luck, guys.